Oh, we'll let everybody come in, but we're going to just jump it off now. And is that cool with you, Coach?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, Genesis, what's your thoughts on Joanna and Jacek? You know, skipping out on this
We're gonna just jump
opportunity.
it off now. And is that cool
Somebody,
with you, Coach?
oh, that was me. I'm sorry. Skipping out on this opportunity to fight in a title fight. I just want everybody to just picture this, just envision this in your head. This is a title fight, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
know, General.
Go in, Genesis. We're talking about a
Everybody
title fight.
doesn't view everybody doesn't view everything the way we view it. I mean, especially not her of all people, but I mean, I don't know. Like, it's crazy to me. Like I said before, I wouldn't pass no title up. I don't give a fuck if they change their mind in the last 2 weeks. Guess what I'm gonna do? My ass gonna train for 7, 8 hours a day for them 2 weeks for real. I'm gonna get it in because this is for another title, but everybody doesn't think that way, and everybody doesn't have that sense of urgency to think like, damn, like, okay, I'll skip out on this title shot, so I might not ever get another one. I mean, shit, I lost my last two title fights that I had, so I mean, hey, that may not be generous to me this I'm saying, this third or fourth time around, but I mean, even with that too, they need to stop changing shit. They need to make up their fucking mind on what they gonna do. I mean, you say you have a fight that y'all want to do fights in December, and then you change it to November and all this and that. Just leave it how the fuck it is. Sometimes everything doesn't need to be changed and revised all the time. I mean, just some stuff just needs to be left alone. It is, but I still think she wrong for not taking that title fight. Shit, she wrong for that.
I just don't understand not taking the title fight because me and Coach have been saying for a long time now that this diva mentality, people jumping out of fights,
Yep.
was coming to MMA, and I would have never imagined that Joanna Jacek would have made this move. Maybe yeah, Megan Anderson, Jermaine Durandame, Amanda Nunes, but Joanna Jacek. Joanna Jacek, and people want to argue about the variables. They want to worry about the ifs, ands, and buts. The fact of the matter is that Joanna Jacek isn't fighting. Like that's what.
I don't think she's scared though.
Oh, I mean,
But you know what I think it is too? Her ass know that she need a longer count just for the simple fact that Valentina didn't already text that ass more than once. So she feels that she needs the reassurance of a longer count. I mean, think about it. Somebody beat you more than once. Shit. And then they change the notice of the fight. How you gonna feel? Especially if somebody text your ass more than once. What would you do, General Africa?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
All
What
right,
would you
we're all
do?
in.
let me send out
Woo!
sending one to Stamina. A second. This is a title fight. I'm taking the fight, man. If I lose, if I lose, I lose.
I know.
If
That's
I
what I'm
lose, I
saying. But
lose. If I lose,
everybody
because
don't think like
this
that.
and that's the crazy. I'm sending it out, Stamina. That's the crazy part about it. Is
Yeah,
that
that is a great
I
point.
would have never expected Joanna Jacek to be that way
And
because
we are seeing this now more often in women's MMA. It's kind of crazy.
I'm not used to seeing it at all. And that's the thing. I mean, if she would have lost, I would have been done with it. I mean, because it's Valentina Shevchenko. Just like the same situation with Nick. And it's a little bit different, but with Nick, you would have been better for it. This is an opportunity. Like Coach made a great point yesterday. It's like nobody has a belt in this division. This is the UFC. Nobody has a belt. Like people are just assuming that well, I mean, Valentina's a front runner. I mean, but they're fighting for the 125 crown. You know what I mean? Like this is it. Like what else? Like you just lost. You have 2 losses to Rose. Now you don't you want to be on the come up? I send the link to Stamina. I sent out the link.
Valentina has already won before the fight even started. She already won. I mean, she's too skilled and everything. So I mean, yeah, we all want to see it, but
Full time.
we all know what the end result is.
Yeah, I mean, we know that Joanna, I think she feels she needs an 8-week camp at least to fight somebody like Valentina.
Babe, please, she
So
need
I
more than
mean,
that.
to me, the fact that Joanna did this is sad, but considering that she's paid her dues, I'm not gonna knock her the way even Jermaine Durandamy, I was rough on her, but she was very honest. She said, "I don't want to fight Chris Cyborg. because she thinks that she's a cheater and she knows that she's going to get destroyed. So I kind of understood that. Megan Anderson was just bullshit. And Nico Montano concocted an entire lie to pull out a fight against Valentina, hoping that she could keep her belt like Max Holloway and fight her in like October, November. And now she has this whole documentary coming out that is basically based around this lie that she concocted, which to me is a lot worse than Joanna. At least Joanna is like, well, I'm on vacation and I'm sorry, I'm not going to only train 4 weeks for somebody like Valentina. Maybe for somebody like Tisha Torres, sure. Yeah, Tisha Torres, give me a 4-week camp. Rocky Pennington, 4-week camp. Not Valentina. Valentina is not a 4-week camp. That is an 8-week camp. And Valentina has been training since May. She's been training for 4 or 5 months. I mean, it's I'm not gonna hate on Joanna for what she did. It sucks, but,
you guys,
and I'm not even a Joanna fan.
You guys go ahead and smash that like button, man. Because
smash the like button, family.
Got damn haters in here already, man. God, the show ain't even really started. Damn haters.
Wait, is that full time? Is that full time?
We got my boy full time in the building. We got my boy full time.
We go biting bitch boy.
We got my boy Stan.
What's up, full time?
Come get this work. What's going on, everybody?
Yeah.
Full time. Where you get that hat from, boy?
Man, I got, you know me, I don't even know. I don't go shopping, man. I'm broke. I got this somewhere. I swear to God. I got it somewhere, and somewhere I still got it.
You ain't got to lie.
What's up, full time?
I'll post a screenshot of my bank account. Ask Coach. I'm negative.
You lied. You ain't got to lie.
He showed it. He showed it.
I'm negative.
I swear to God. I ain't believe him at first either, but yeah.
I'm negative. I'm coming. Yeah, I'll bring my mom
Payday's on the 3rd of the month.
I know I'm broke.
Payday's on the 3rd of the month. You gotta wait for the 3rd.
No, my payday's every 2 weeks if I get work. I wish I had a motherfucker check on the 3rd. I'm trying to get disabled so I can get me a little check.
Yeah, I'm getting a job this month. I'm getting another job this month, so hopefully for
Salute
that.
General Africa. Come get this work, Mobcast. I got to start this off by saying, fuck the Jameson brothers. We got the proper 12 on deck.
There you go. There you go, family. There
Let's
you go. My brother, full time in the building. I love having you on. I'm sure you bring a different perspective.
Oh, you got the Conor McGregor drink?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Chop it up. What are your thoughts, full time?
On which one? Which one?
On the situation with Joanna not taking the fight, Sarge being.
My thoughts are, there's a lot to blame to go around, but the only person that should not be receiving any blame is Sarge Eubanks.
Exactly.
Thank you.
You can look at Joanna and you can say, why didn't she take the fight early? You can look at Valentina and say, why didn't you stay on 231 when she already signed the contract? You can look at the UFC for multiple reasons. You can look at the UFC and say, why Sarge instead of Caitlyn? You look at the UFC and say, why would you cancel our 2 signed contracts? Sarge was already supposed to be fighting Jessica I mean, Joanna was already supposed to be fighting Valentina. They canceled both those fights so they can put this at the headline of Madison Square Garden. So there's a lot of blame to go around, but the only person I don't give any blame to is Sarge, because what do you expect her to do? Say, hey, Sarge, instead of fighting the 9th-ranked female flyweight, would you rather fight main event Madison Square Garden for a title and triple the money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had these pipsqueaks. Go on, Cole. You had these pipsqueaks going in, and I'm gonna pass it to Stamina. You had these pipsqueaks going in on Sarge Eubanks Instagram and stuff, taking shots at her like she's the
now
like she perpetrated.
General, I gotta say this: Sarge ain't been helping herself on Twitter. There was one fan, like any fans that just attacked Sarge, they're in the wrong. But there were some fans that were like, because they didn't know who Sarge was before this. So they're like, hey, what's up, Sarge? Don't know much about you, but you have to admit that the UFC is kind of shitting on their fans by putting this main event together. And she was like, they were like, it's a shame to the MMA fans. And she was like, your face is a shame. Like, she's been firing back at some.
What is she supposed to say to that?
She's just defending herself. I'm just saying, like, in a PR aspect, like it would have probably looked better if she's just like, yo, listen, guys, I understand you're upset. I'm humbled at the opportunity. This is a huge opportunity. I'm gonna do my best. Like, but she's like firing back at the fans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't put any blame on Sarge for saying yes. I think of course she should have said yes. But on social media, she's not doing any favors.
And the UFC is getting so much backlash that they're now working on a new main event because this fight because I'm not mad at Sarge for taking the fight. I'm happy about it, but I'm like, this is such a mismatch on paper. And I'm like, you're putting this as the main event for MSG on pay-per-view.
Real quick,
you want people to spend. You want to force people
Brian.
to pay almost $80 for this.
One second, Brian.
This?
Brian, 1 second.
Sorry, I had to get that in. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I want to let Coach get his thoughts in, and then so I can pass it to Stamina.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's good. I want to hear what Stamina think too, man.
No, you guys, you go true, man. Go true.
Oh,
Stamina with the lurker vibes. Let's go.
Stamina
What's
must
up,
got
Stamina?
something. Stamina must got something in the bag, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm ready for this one. Okay, so it go to thing. I agree. And Rugby Queen General, she trying to get in, man.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you, Rugby Queen, what's your email, and I'll send it out right now. Put it in the chat. And
then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get a kick. So okay, yeah, I agree with everybody. Sarge Eubanks, you know, that's my girl, man. You know, I done interviewed her, and
The Full House.
you know that's my girl, man. But you know, you got Valentina in 4 weeks, man. This ain't no time, man. This ain't no time to be going around. And you know, I think, man, that we gotta look at this in perspective, man. I think Sarge gonna come in because Sarge been calling out Valentina for a long time. Okay, she been doing it, but the problem is, man, is that she want Valentina. This whole Nico debacle just kind of screwed up a whole lot of people, man. Hey, it's somebody out there, man. I hear somebody in the background. Let's you know what I'll do, man. When I'm not talking, I'm gonna mute and then see everybody can get their point across. So then you won't have to ask. Okay, yeah, man. What was I saying? I can't remember what the fuck I'm saying. Okay,
You're talking about Sarge calling out
yeah.
Valentina and the Nico situation.
Yeah, so you know she been calling out Valentina, so it's not like Sarge was ducking. I mean, Sarge wanted this fight. And yeah, what is Sarge supposed to do? She get to fight for a belt, man. It's an opportunity. And here, Sarge didn't think she was going to see an opportunity. I mean, after that last fiasco with the weight, when she had to fight Nico, Sarge didn't think she was going to see another opportunity. So Sarge like, yeah. So I don't understand why Jessica I hating. Like Jessica. I like Jessica too. Jessica need to shut the fuck up. Like, do you think Jessica I would fight Sarge Eubanks? Do y'all think she would fight Sarge if they offered Jessica a shot at the title? Jessica would be like, hell no, I'm fighting for the belt. So I don't even understand why Jessica upset. Jessica, just shut up. Know your level. Shut your mouth. They're going to find you another opponent. Okay? Hell, it might not be the opponent you want. And it ain't like Sarge ducking you. Jessica making it seem like Sarge ducking you. No. And then second, Jessica last 2 wins, they ain't been that impressive. They really ain't, man. She got a split decision. And after the split decision, she started talking all this junk. And I'm like, what the hell? No, Jessica, you barely won that fight, dog. You barely won that fight. Shut your damn mouth, okay? And then we get over here. My thing is this, okay? I would co-sign Joanna. I would co-sign Joanna in a minute. I would go along with the whole, okay, there's not enough time to fight Kim. I would do that. But, you know, this the same Joanna, man, who was going to save a card, man. She was going to save a card. And, you know, she was willing to fight Valentina then. Oh, but guess what? She was undefeated then. So taking her ass whooping from Valentina, oh, well, you know, yeah, I just got my ass whooped, but well, she bigger than me. See, that could have been a narrative. But now we go to this, okay? Now this. Valentina ducking Joanna. No, Valentina and duck Joanna. They got the same opportunity. They both got the fight turned down, and they both got an offer for November. Valentina said, yep, I'll fight her in November. Joanna said, no. It's a title shot.
Yeah.
You're 2 out of your last 3. What are you doing? No, you get your ass off vacation. Okay, you get your skinny little ass out of Rome, and you get back to the gym, go to ATT, let somebody beat your ass for 4 weeks, and go fight Valentina and let her beat your ass again. The payday is good. And hell, you might win, Joanna. You got you got a kicker's chance.
She's got a Muay Thai chance. She's got a kicker's chance.
Hey,
she's got that Muay Thai chance.
Yeah, you know, God, dog. What, do these fighters don't want to take a gamble on themselves no more, y'all? Like, what, you know, like I say this, y'all. Tell it to Tanya Evinger. She had to fight Cyborg.
Or Yana Kunitskaya.
Tell him that, man. They had to fight. Hold on, man. They had to fight Cyborg. They had to. Tanya Evinger wasn't getting into the UFC if she didn't fight Cyborg. Y'all know damn well who were they going to put in the UFC? Okay, come on, y'all. God, dog. Who with me? I'm almost done.
Evinger. Tell that to Caitlin Vieira.
I think Stamina's ready to hop in on that one.
Stamina.
Tell Leslie Smith. She was one of the first victims.
No excuses. No excuses.
Hey, y'all. Okay, yeah, man. Just we'll mute that bad. But I'm gonna mute mine, man, because I'm done. You know, but I like to get my thought out, man, and then I'm gonna mute it. So I want to hear what my brother got to say, man.
Yeah. Hello?
Stamina, go ahead, brother.
Oh, okay, I thought Brian was going to go. Okay. Nah, see, Coach, the thing with that and with all of the examples that you've given there is that those were the one shot, once in a lifetime opportunities for all of those people. Tonya Evinger was never getting in the UFC were it not for that Cyborg deal. Same with Joanna, same with flipping Ketlin and all those other people. Joanna has the curse of actually being in a very good position. This is not the one shot, if you don't do this now, you're screwed forever type of situation for her. This fight was mad convenient for her in that she doesn't need to fight anyone else down at Straw to get her closer to her belt back. So for her to go up and fight one fight at flyweight, and she always said that she was going to go back and get her belt from Straw, whether she won or lost. So that fight just made sense to her under those circumstances. If all of a sudden it is now a month earlier and it's not what was set up, then she doesn't need to take it because she's still in a very good position because her record is still better than most of those chicks in the fly and Straw division. So it's the deal that she got is not on the table for a lot of these other women. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
exactly.
I want to say one thing that a lot of people aren't pointing out, and I don't know if anyone cares, but I got to say this. The UFC is being very progressive, right? Because a black female gay champion is getting the headline Madison Square Garden. Like, yo, can we give a round of applause to the UFC?
Yeah, it is.
You can't. It wasn't their first choice.
Okay, and I got to, and then that's what I want to say. And then one last thing. Also, Kagan's 11-1. I don't know why they're looking at her as a backup option. She would have been. I think a lot less people would be complaining if it was Chukagian versus Shevchenko.
Facts.
Because her
wait. Who's the backup option?
Chukagian, Caitlin Chukagian.
Caitlin, she's trash. So I'm not looking forward to that either.
Yeah.
She's even worse than Sajar.
Can anyone beat Shevchenko? Hold on. No, I hear you, Brian Jensen, and you're right.
Brian, you pissing me off.
Talking about Joanna.
I'm sorry.
Can anybody beat Valentina?
No.
Anybody beat Valentina?
No.
Anybody? Nico, Sarge, Joanna.
But Sajara, at least she can land.
It don't matter who she's fighting; she's winning. Okay, that's all.
Yeah, but at least Sajara
they can't beat her full time.
Sajara's better on the ground. Caitlin Kugian, whatever you name, that woman can't land a single strike.
They can't.
Crazy as shit.
Pretty
talk about Valentina.
Let Coach.
Let
Coach. And then I'm going to you, George.
Yeah, and then we'll keep the moderator moderating us, man, because boy, this thing gonna go crazy, man. And guys, make sure, man, if somebody, like Genesis, man, just mute yourself, Brian. You got to mute yourself too, man, because I'm doing it. But yeah, all I have to say, man, is why these people look, man. Y'all don't know how many people like Valentina done had mute up. God, mute. Did I say mute?
Well, mute too.
Valentina's gonna fight mute.
Like, nah, man, so many people have ducked Valentina, man. Look, I didn't even talk to Roger, man. He said, look, man. He said, if I really told you the total number of people that's ducked Valentina since she started in UFC, he said, Coach, it'll blow your mind. And, I kept saying, well, who? He said, man, I can't do it, man. Because, his position, he didn't want to do it, but he was saying, oh, it's people too. So, of course, I start going down that roster list. I said, yeah. I said, yeah. Okay, I got it. I know who ducked her. So he was like, and I said, so if I ask you if they ducked her, what? He was kind of like, well, I'm not gonna really. And Roger got that integrity. He won't say, but I think he probably mad enough now to say it because it's too many people, man, not wanting to get in there with this girl, man. Come on, man. Come on. I mean, she gonna have to keep fighting the Priscilla Cacciatas of the world. I'm done.
Yeah, and Coach, and I'm gonna pass it to you, George. And I really want you because I know you can cook on this. What do you think about? Because I remember that I went as soon as I figured out that wasn't going on with Nico and Valentina. I went to Twitter and of course people are, Chukugi is a solid fighter. She seems like a cool lady and whatnot. But she was like, she reached out to Valentina and then she's like, oh wait, so I can't fight. It's like, well, didn't you know? Weren't you preparing? Wasn't this the perfect opportunity for you? Oh, I guess. Oh, it's Valentina's fault. It's Valentina's fault that you can't fight. Oh, but they didn't reach out to you. You should be the one preparing. So I'm not playing with a lot of these fighters that try to act like they'll fight Valentina and then they won't do it. And it's the same thing with Jessica. Jessica, I need to sit her ass down. All right. I like her as a fighter. I think she's tough. But you know what? At the back of my mind, it was just always like something like, I don't know what Jessica, it was like, oh, I get it. She never wanted to call Valentina's name out. That's what it was. That was that instinct in the back of my head. George, go ahead. What do you think about these fighters really, I think, using Valentina's name, and then I feel splitting hairs with Sarge Eubanks about her getting a shot?
I know y'all hate me saying this word. I'm gonna say it right out. Jessica is a salty bitch. That's the problem with her.
Oh God.
She can't just simply take the fact that you're not a draw. You're nobody. You're at the bottom of the barrel. Because no one wants to see you fight. Now you challenge Sarge, and Sarge is a real G. Sarge is gonna go up there. She's gonna take her ass whooping. You know, she's gonna be Apollo Creed. This is like I said. This is Rocky IV. This is Rocky IV.
Film reference.
Valentina
page quote
is Ivan Drago. She says that if she dies, she dies. And I love Sarge, but Sarge is Apollo Creed. Laying on the mat while Rocky's holding her. She's done, but she's gonna go in there and die on her shield. That's why we love Sarge. Sarge is a real G. She wasn't like the other salty chicks saying off the sidelines talking about why Joanna get the shot. Because Joanna, even though she's a pain in the ass mental case, Joanna is a draw. She's the Ric Flair of women's MMA. Woo! Woo! Everybody loved Ric Flair. Everybody loved the Nature Boy. But you know, she can understand that now that she decided not to take this fight, she should have known that. Come on, you missed out on some money. It's just a month. A month. You got enough time to work out, and she's almost at the same level as Valentina. She works out about year round. And she's walking around 135, 140. What is 10, 15 pounds? Nothing. She can lose that in time and make the fight and make the weight. Like I said, but Sarge, this is the thing is my Sarge. I'm hoping that she does make the weight. Now, she's getting ready for Jessica I. All she got to do is change the game plan. I think Sarge, if she can hold up, she can maybe go past 3 rounds with Valentina. Maybe. But the fact is, the rest of them, you shut the mouths, sit back, get off the rag, understand this is opportunity for your division. The KKK Lees, the Jessica I's, the Jesse Rose Clarks, the Paige Van Camp, all those girls, just sit back and know your role. And like The Rock says, shut your mouth. You're jabronis. Probably a smackdown on you.
And you know what, man? I want to go to Rugby Queen, and then I'm going to go to Genesis. I just want to ask Rugby Queen, what do you think the mindset is of these guys, going on Sarge Eubanks' page, telling her this and that about the business when she's a fighter? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think that kind of person, that a person like that is? Trashing her, calling her a man, and this and that. What do you think about that? Hey, you're on mute. You're on mute, Rugby. And maybe. Oh, she dropped. All right, we'll go to Genesis. Genesis, you there, sis?
Of course, I'm always here.
So what's up with what's up with these little twerps on social media, trying to come at Sarge? What's up with that, man? What do you think about?
I would say get the fuck off my black sister, because she's getting a goddamn opportunity that is very few and none for us. So I stand behind her. I understand why she clapping back, because I'm like that. I'm like that too. Somebody writes some stupid ass shit on my social media. I don't give a fuck who you is or what I got going on in my life. It's just something that clicks in some of us. Well, we have to say something back. So I understand where she's coming from. So fuck what everybody else say. Oh, she shouldn't say nothing back. I'm sure she's focused too, because I've seen her training and stuff too. But some people, they just not quiet. Everybody not finna just walk away and just let anybody say whatever they want, because I damn sure ain't. So I stand behind her. Whether she win or lose, it's a good opportunity, and she's making a stand for some of us that, hey, opportunity that is very few and none for a lot of black athletes within the UFC.
Genesis, real quick. I just want to reply to that real quick. I want to say I completely agree with you. If somebody's talking shit on Sarge, I'm fine with her replying to that. But I just saw a fan saying like, "Yo, Sarge, I'm happy you're getting the opportunity, but I just think the UFC is disrespecting the fans." And she was like, "Your face is disrespectful." Like it wasn't nobody talking shit. It was just somebody like, "Yo, I'm upset as a fan. Like I'm happy for you, Sarge, but the UFC pissed me off." She's like, "Your face pisses me off."
See that.
But I agree with what you're saying, though. If
I
somebody's
don't know.
talking shit on Sarge, then they need fired back at. Because Sarge, I think she's the only person that has she's got no blame. She should have took this fight. But everything else, I agree with.
Yeah, we and I just want to make this clear full time, but everybody knows that you don't condone that type of behavior. Definitely not. We know what type of dude you are, man, in that regard. But I think, and I want to see what Genesis thinks about this and their rugby queen, but I think she was just probably.
I'm sorry about that,
tired.
guys.
Don't worry about it.
For whatever reason, it wasn't letting me unmute.
Well, we got you back in here, and we got you back in here. So okay. Let me.
I think it's Fat Boy.
Yeah, we got rugby queen back in the. Yeah, we got rugby queen back in the building. Rugby queen, what do you think? What do you think the mentality Sarge needs to take going into this fight? What do you think she needs going up against a great opponent like Valentina Shevchenko?
Well, like I said in my video, I think, and I know it's tough for her because she doesn't like to take shit from people, talking about her like that. And, and they shouldn't be, and no, people shouldn't be insulting her. Like, I'm not condoning any of that. And I know there's people, attacking her on social media and stuff, but and that's not necessary, but I think her mentality, the fight's 4 weeks and 2 days away. She's gonna have to ignore that shit because she's gonna have to do in 4 weeks what would take 8 weeks. And she needs to, like I said, she needs to ignore people on social media, get off social media, don't do any interviews. She needs to focus at the task at hand, and that's making weight and preparing for Valentina. Because arguing with people on Twitter and trolling people on Twitter, and getting into Twitter war with Jessica you can't do anything about it. It sucks that people are lashing out at you, but it is what it is. She needs to ignore it. It's not cool what they're doing, but she needs to ignore it because people are going to say what they're going to say. They're going to say how they feel. They're going to have their opinions about you. There's going to be people out there that love you or hate you. And that's just part of it. And she's going to have to really learn that, in these situations, you have to put that behind you and really try to focus on Valentina, because this is going to be her toughest fight. She has not faced anybody like her, and that needs to be her mentality. Stay off social media, get in the gym, cut weight, and focus on preparing for a game plan.
The lovely rugby queen, always with the cogent thoughts and insightful thoughts, and I definitely agree. I think Sarge is going to have to just step away from the social media for a little bit and really just take in this moment. Going up against Valentina Shevchenko is an opportunity that hardly, few people get. As you can see, a lot of people have kind of dropped the ball when it comes to it. And go ahead.
My advice for Sarge is go somewhere remote. Get out of the way. Get away from social media. Get away from Wi-Fi. Get away from everything. Go in the woods. Chop down trees. Run up a mountain. Punch a bear. Do something to get yourself ready for this person who is, I'm going to say again, Ivan Dracoff reborn.
He said
get
punch
ready
a bear.
Yeah, punch a bear. She needs to get ready because she has somebody in front of her. Don't worry about these little assholes and little dipshits out on the media because they got nothing to do but to sit around on the computers and dream about Paige Van Zandt and Rachel Ochovich's pillow fight coming up. Think about you have a real tough opponent. Like I said, Valentina, people has been ducking her for ever since she came to UFC. You know, Amanda Nunes ducked her the first time. Even though she beat her, she ducked her talking about, I got a problem with my sinuses. You know, okay. And then now you got Joanna. You know, come on, you got enough time to fight. You got a list of people that she ain't gonna name names, but we know who you are. You know, Jessica I. Anybody else, who want to say that they want to, step up to the mic, but don't have the, the testicle fortitude to do what they're gonna say. Like, like this. Like a man Kevin Hart said, "Say it with your chest, little nigga." And don't be like stuff off the side, and being salty. But like I said, for Sarge, pay attention to the fools. Focus on what you have at hand. You have opportunity. You may not win, but you will become a legend. You had your opportunity. You could have had your opportunity a while back, but you missed that chance. Now you have another opportunity. Take advantage of this. Like I said, like Joe Africa said, get away from social media. Get away from the people. Go somewhere. Just train, work out, put yourself together, put yourself in the mode.
Yeah, man. Definitely, she's gonna need to do that, man. She's gonna need to do that. She wants to take the best opportunity out of this, the best chance out of this opportunity. But I wanna move on if we could, man. I don't know if anybody saw the pre-fight presser with Khabib and Conor McGregor, but this dude, I read about it on MMA Junkie, man, and I guess Conor McGregor was showing up late.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, General, I was wondering, were you talking about when Caitlin Currick? Were you talking about the her situation back in September, where she didn't get herself prepared to be a replacement for Nico?
With who?
When you were talking about Caitlin Currick, were you talking about like when?
No,
I
was
supposed to be the backup for the Valentina and Nico fight in case one of them didn't show up or something.
No, I was talking about Jakugian when she was on Twitter when she had the back and forth with Valentina's team on Twitter, and I guess she said something about how like it was too late for her to be a replacement. But I mean, she should have known about it. Like she should have done whatever, put herself in.
She should have done what Amir Usman did, where he actually made weight that day.
Exactly.
He actually made weight. He showed up and he came in at 169. But I mean, these women aren't serious about fighting Valentina. Me personally, I think Sarge is just going to cut weight and she's going to show up to get the check, and that's it. I think this is why she took the fight. She's in a win-win situation. If she loses, she wins. If she wins, she's a superstar. With Joanna, if she'd have taken some serious punishment, it might have been the end of her career. So,
Hey, Jensen,
Sarge's in a win-win situation.
She definitely is. And Jensen, I want to ask you another question. I want to ask you about what I don't know if you heard about this, but McGregor was showing up late to a presser with Khabib, and he just left. He was like, he said, I don't need to wait for him, man. He's, I show up on time. He said, I no need wait for nobody. He started getting boos from the McGregor crowd. This is 3 p.m. Friends are here. Media is here. Everybody is here. UFC President Dana White a little bit late. It's okay. But 3 p.m. I beginning. If you have questions, let's go. What do you think? Do you think that was do you think that was kind of like a good move for Khabib going to this fight? Or do you think
it's a mental game. Like he wasn't gonna be Conor's bitch. That's what he was trying to avoid. It's kind of like what Nate Diaz did. If Conor had shown up, Conor basically would have said that, okay, I made this bitch wait for me, like the bitch that he is. He was like, I'm gonna make this dude wait for me 20-25 minutes, and he's just gonna be my bitch. And Khabib wasn't gonna fall for that. With Nate Diaz, he took it to another level where he just walked off, and then he brought out his brother Nick, and he started throwing water bottles and shit. So that was wild. But that was wild. But Khabib, he didn't throw any water bottles. He just did what Nate did, and he just walked off. It was a mental thing. He's like, you're not going to be bossing me around. I'm not going to be your bitch, and you're not going to dictate what this press conference is going to be or what I'm going to do. So he just walked off, and Conor is sitting there all by himself answering questions for like 40 minutes.
How many you think that when you saw the test Conor, you think you're gonna find coke in his system? That Lucky Charms motherfucker, I think he's coked out. He's coke.
Well,
a lot of people are
always
saying
seems
that.
coked
I
out.
don't know. I think he's just like that.
I know he's like that, but I
just
think
he's just acting like this.
that Dolly thing, I think he was coked out.
listen. I've said from the beginning that I
I think he was drunk.
Okay.
Well, that's typically Irish, you know.
Yeah, he drinks all the time. I mean, that's his problem. That's why his stamina is terrible, because he
he's an
drinks alcohol.
alcoholic.
Yeah,
that's why his stamina is so terrible, because he drinks alcohol.
That sounds like a stereotypical Irish.
He drinks a lot.
This is the thing. He was definitely probably drinking that night. But I've said from the beginning, I think that it was that very same week, maybe that day, and I said, that's just not normal behavior for somebody like that. Drinking doesn't. I don't care what nobody says. Drinking doesn't make you do that. That's some other type of stuff.
And in his defense, he's a good friend. I mean, how many of us have good friends that are willing to fly across the Pacific Ocean to beat the shit out of somebody that was fucking with you? I mean, we don't have a lot of friends that could do that.
Well, he has the money to do it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just
Why he
saying,
didn't.
it's like, how many friends are willing to do that?
How much that Mayweather money he has left?
I don't have a private jet.
To what Brian Jensen is saying, Conor McGregor and his whole thing, he's got the loyalty. Loyalty is something you can't take away from him. You can call him stupid, coke, whatever you want to call him. He's loyal.
Yeah, he's loyal to his friends. That's a good thing. In his defense,
There is.
I'm not justifying what he did. That was messed up, but still, like.
Yeah,
I know Stamina has something to say about this.
No, just a quick thing.
Go ahead, Stamina. Then I want to get your thoughts on the two full time. But
yeah, go ahead, Stamina.
All I was going to say was just in response to the good friend comment. Apparently, well, not even apparently, but it's just as is typical of the media sensationalizing things as and when they happen. There's a kind of a thinking going around that Conor was actually in New York for reasons entirely separate to any of that. Okay. He was going to be in New York anyway. He didn't actually make that trip just for that. It just so happened that while he was there, that became a thing. So that was what he did. But he didn't fly to America for that. He was already going to fly to America to do.
Do you think he flew to New York to be a replacement just in case Max couldn't make the fight? This
was kind of what people were putting in my ear. It's just that he's trying to do some backdoor type of thing where, to be ready to be fight. To be ready to fight, but to not do the media obligations and all that other stuff, which we know that he doesn't like. But, he wasn't necessarily just flying from Ireland to America to go and fuck shit up. Okay. That wasn't the objective. So
okay, I hear that, but
he wasn't actually going to change the narrative and correct people when they thought, oh yeah, that's what he did. They're not going to say he's wrong.
I hear that, Stamina, but whatever plans he had, whatever reason he was going to fly over to America for, whether
he changed business, mid-flight.
He fucking changed it for Artem. He fucking said, what happened, Artem? Yo, I was about to be fucking handling business, but fucking where's Khabib? Where's his bus?
No doubt.
Where's his nearest dolly?
Full time, and even though I said, what he did was terribly wrong and just insane and imbecilic, I've always said that Conor McGregor will get that smoke. Has he gotten a little bit, I don't want to call it lazy, but kind of like not as, is he not as serious about MMA right now? I think so. But when it comes to getting into the octagon and fighting, I've always said that he's a warrior in that light, even though he may annoy me. And initially I've been thinking that Conor McGregor will get Khabib. I just think that he'd be more poised, but seeing even if it's a small gesture, Khabib leave the presser like that, I'm starting to wonder, well, maybe Khabib's not as nervous as I thought he was. What do you think about their mental state going into this fight, or who would you get an edge to right now?
I completely agree with you. I completely agree. At first, on the first press conference, I thought, okay, maybe Conor got to him when he said something about like I felt like Conor. When it was maybe the religious stuff or the Putin stuff or the Magomedov stuff, whatever. I felt like Conor kind of got to him, and Khabib is a guy that originally I felt like Conor's not going to be able to ruffle his feathers. Khabib is too stone-faced. He just doesn't let shit get to him mentally. But after, I felt like during the press conference he might have, but today, whenever Khabib showed up and left, and he was just answering, he was on fire, I felt like, during this press conference. He was answering the questions. He was like thumbs, like all the boos, everything. He didn't care. And not only the press conference. I don't know if you guys saw the open workouts. Yesterday, Khabib's open workouts, I think he did even better than the press conference today. Holy shit. He was getting booed the whole time. They were saying, you shit on Bus. All of this madness, booing Khabib. I've never saw Khabib booed like this. He held his composure. He answered the fans, and he did the same thing today at the press conference. So even if Conor did get to him at the first press conference, I feel like Khabib has got his wits back about him. It might have got to him for a second, but now he's ready to fucking smash.
Yeah. I think Khabib is very mentally strong, but I mean, I do have Conor winning within the maybe if he could defend against Khabib's takedowns in his wrestling, and he just controls range and distance really well and lands some really good strikes, I think he could probably win by a decision, or he could win by TKO within the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, see, it's funny that Brian Jensen says that, because I feel like I'm in the minorities of believing that, because I've heard a lot of people say, they think Khabib's going to really get countered, but I've been thinking that, I think the gap's closing now, but I've been thinking for a while now that Conor, I think with his composure, with his striking ability, even though he might not have the stamina that Khabib has, the fact that Khabib comes in wild so much, I think that Conor would get him. Maybe I think it's closer now. I think they'll finish the whole fight, maybe.
People are underestimating Conor's takedown defense, and they're underestimating his control of range and distance. Like the way he controls distance and how accurate with his timing, with his left hand. I mean, his left hand is just so devastating. He hits so hard with that punch, and he's just very accurate, and his timing is great. If Khabib can't take that punch, then the fight is over. If he could take the punch, then we have a really, really great fight. If it depends on Khabib, if he's willing to grind it out. See, Nate Diaz could take Conor's punch, and he's willing to grind it out, and that's why he was able to beat Conor the first time, and why the rematch, he probably won the rematch, or it was a draw, but they gave it to Conor because they really needed him to go into MSG with a victory and to become a 2-division champion. So there was a lot of politics, I think, that went into that decision. But still, I mean, Conor, he will land that left hand. I mean, look at how Khabib performed against a guy who was ranked 11 and who's a full-time real estate agent.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And I want to pass it to Genesis right quick. I'm thinking right now that, Conor's definitely, like, even though compared to boxers, Tyron Woodley and Conor, they have great striking ability. It's not like amazing, but going against a lot of the competition, they can really land a couple really good shots, and it's a matter of, are they going to be able to take those shots? So what do you think, Genesis, going into who are you giving the edge to right now in this fight, and why? Hey, Genesis.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, now what you saying?
Like, who would you give the I was about to say, who would you give the edge to right now, and why in this fight between Khabib and your boy Conor?
I'm gonna give it to Conor. I mean, Khabib really hasn't fought no real good competition like that. Think about it. He's wrestled the fuck out of everybody he's ever fought. He's never fought nobody that was actually tough, or anybody that was really a good striker. Look at all his fights. All he do is wrestle them and throw their ass on the ground. I mean, that's easy. Hey, who wouldn't be able to skate their way through 26 wins? I mean, if you're able to pick your opponents and who you fight, the people you fight, and they're really some sorry ass people. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, and I kind of was like a little bit ago, like a few months ago, I asked the panel, I was like, it's like people were saying that Khabib has not ducked, but kind of like there was a lot of, I saw people saying that Khabib is his level of competition and certain fights that didn't happen. I was like, is it true? Because I was just learning about it. But at the same time, I do see that he is a beast, like he is a monster, but I don't know if his level of competition has been like people have been saying. And I don't know if he's going to be able to take what Conor McGregor has to offer.
And you have to do research on the guys that manage his career. I mean, the guys that Conor McGregor was talking about. Khabib's manager is a guy who manages like 50 different fighters, and he
The
makes
manager,
sure
you
he
know,
matches him
Brian,
up very well.
Right.
Brian, your manager doesn't have anything to do with like your actual skills and stuff like that. All they do is sign your contracts. And
Yeah, Khabib is a great
your
fighter.
money.
Yeah.
That's all they worry about. That's all they have power over.
I mean, Khabib is a great fighter, but how many great fighters has he fought?
None.
Yeah, none. He hasn't fought a lot of great fighters. He hasn't
You know
fought
what?
one
I
guy.
think-
Like
Rafael
Randy.
dos Anjos is his best
What
fighter.
about
I remember
Edson
that one. I did see that, and
I mean-
I'm not a full time Jensen. You guys know, 90 times more, 100 times more about men's MMA than me. But I mean, even like as a casual, and I still would consider myself a casual when it comes to the men's MMA. I going through the I was like, okay, I know him, and I've heard of this guy, but it was never like, oh, this dude's like just like the competition is just crazy with
Yeah,
him.
Khabib hasn't beaten a lot of top 5 guys. I mean, he's beaten guys in the top 10, yeah, top 15, but he hasn't beaten a top 5 guy. I mean, a fight against Tony Ferguson would have been a great fight, but for some crazy reason, that fight hasn't happened yet.
McGregor's only, to be fair, McGregor's only fought one fight at lightweight as well.
That's true, but it's against the champion, and he destroyed him.
And Khabib has the win over Rafael dos Anjos, Edson Barboza. Like, those were his most impressive wins, but he hasn't beat. I mean, because when he fought Rafael dos Anjos, he wasn't champion yet. So, I mean, I guess you could say he hasn't beat like a technical champion. But McGregor does only have one fight at lightweight. I mean, this fight is super hard to call for me, but I hear what you guys are saying. But I will say that McGregor, it's crazy because both of these guys are like each other's kryptonite, right? Like, we've seen Khabib clipped up, and you can't let that happen against McGregor. We've seen McGregor run out of cardio, and we've seen that his weakness might be his grappling, and that's not good against Khabib. So I think either one of these guys have like McGregor could very well knock out Khabib in the first round, and everyone would be like, "Holy shit, Khabib was weak." But Khabib could maul McGregor, like he really could. Like, if you're talking about cardio, we've never seen McGregor go 25 minutes in an MMA fight ever. So if this fight goes to decision,
We have seen Conor go 25 minutes against Nate Diaz. That's the only fight.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we never seen in that
is-
fight. I felt like he kind of gassed.
I mean,
he did his best to
Conor's
conserve
gone
his
5
energy.
rounds once in his career. and
Yeah,
he
but
managed-
in that fight, I don't really feel like he, like when Khabib has went 5 rounds in his back, like at the end of the fight, you weren't thinking, oh, but he gassed. Like, yeah, he went 5
Khabib
rounds
never
against Nate
gassed out
Diaz, but there was
against
one
Lacito.
point where he like was literally, and I'm a Conor fan. I'm a big Conor fan. There was one point in that fight where he was like literally turning his back and like getting the fuck out of there to catch his breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
also, and plus,
full
people
time.
keep bringing up
Once-
Chad Mendes taking down Conor McGregor, but Conor had a torn ACL, so he couldn't defend against any takedowns. that Chad
Also,
was
short
going to go after him.
notice.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was
Go
short
ahead,
notice.
General Africa.
But
I
Conor
wanna
had a
give-
torn ACL.
I want to get my boy. I got to get my homie Stamina here. I want to get Stamina's thoughts, brother. You hear me? Yo, take it off mute right quick.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to get your. So where are you leaning to, brother? I want to see what direction you're leaning to with this whole Conor McGregor thing and Conor and Khabib right now. Who are you leaning towards?
Man, I can't lean. It's absolutely down the middle.
I'm so with you.
Straight down the middle. I can't. It's to pick one over the other is to be a fan of the man rather than to be a fan of fighting, in my view. Like, it's down the middle because, okay, Conor is unarguably the superior martial artist, but who will be the greater fighter tomorrow? I don't know. Nobody knows. We can't know. Like, in theory, either one of them can get it done. I'm saying that if they fight 10 times, they'll go 5 apiece. Like, it's not cut and dry one way or the other. I can't call it. This is amazing. I can't wait for it. I'm super here for it. I have no leaning. I'm just excited for amazing fighting.
Yeah, Stamina brings up some great points, man. This fight, I think this fight is going to be extremely
fight.
close. I want to get Rugby Queen in here. Hey, Rugby Queen, do you think? Because I feel like Conor. Do you think Conor was doing one of those tactics that Floyd Mayweather would do, where he kind of like brings up the gloves, and not to say that he wasn't justifiable in doing it, but like he did with some of those guys he fought I don't know if it's Canelo or Maidana. He's like, no, these gloves are wrong. It's like that type of thing. Like you show up late, try and get into your opponent's head. Do you think Conor was doing that? And if so, do you think Khabib's reaction was good? And if he's looking good going into this fight?
I think his reaction was just fine. I mean, that's what you have to do. You can't make Conor McGregor think that you're his bitch. So, and I think Khabib did that very well. So, I mean, as far as the fight goes, I think it's 50-50. I mean, they both have their bread and butter. I mean, Khabib's bread and butter is his wrestling. Conor's bread and butter is his striking. So, I mean, it could go one way or the other. And like Stamina said, if they fought 10 times, it would be 5 apiece.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would be wrong. I don't think anybody's wrong to pick one or the other.
Yeah, I think it's a 50-50 fight, but I just think if Conor has a great takedown defense, he doesn't seem to have any injuries that we know of.
Finger
going
injury.
into the fight. If he can defend against the takedowns, he's winning on the feet.
Well, I'll ask you that. Have you guys seen now about no injuries? Okay, so first of all, Conor McGregor at the first press conference when he waved had a fucking something on his middle finger on his left hand. He's left-handed. We all know about his power hand is his left hand. It looked like some crazy ass like bee sting on his middle finger. And he said like one of his teammates' teeth got caught in his finger. But it wasn't just Conor. Khabib showed up with a fucking black eye on his left fucking eye, which is where Conor's going to be targeting. It's crazy because I'm like, well, that's Conor's weapon. And it's like, well, shit, he can't get hit there by Conor. Like I've seen like leading up to the fight, I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. But one of the other things Stamina said I want to agree with is I think as far as well-rounded and the better martial artist, it's Conor McGregor. But traditionally, the grappler beats the striker. So I am also agree with Rugby Queen and Stamina. This is so 50-50 for me. I feel like it's crazy because I feel like no matter who you pick, you're going to be eating crow, but you still got a 50-50 chance of being right. But it's crazy.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, man, this is I don't know. I don't know, man. I really do not know. It's gonna be a good fight. I think it's gonna be a pretty good fight, and whoever wins, we'll see what happens going forward.
It's definitely a great fight, and I hope Khabib makes weight. He looks like he's on track to make weight. The reason that he struggled to make weight against Tony Ferguson is because he had that really big. He had this type of cake. I forgot what it's called, but they sell in Las Vegas.
Tiramisu.
Yeah, the what? What's it called?
Tiramisu.
Yeah. Kevin Lee had that same cake when he was training for Tony Ferguson last year.
Khabib said that it is Russian. It's like Dagestan tradition.
Kevin Lee had the same cake earlier in the week in Las Vegas, and he almost didn't make weight for the fight, and he had to go into the sauna and lose the extra 2 pounds. So he had to lose 19 pounds in 2 days. And Khabib had that same cake, and he struggled to make the weight. So so far so good.
Tiramisu, but I wonder what the heck's in it.
I've never had tiramisu, but that was a whole thing because when Khabib missed weight or was hospitalized, it was leading up, not even in the embedded, but in the UFC preview show. He was like, it's like Dagestan tradition. Before we eat tiramisu. Then he missed weight, and so it was a whole big ordeal, and people were having a hard time finding the video of Khabib eating tiramisu, so they thought the UFC was trying to hide it because he missed weight. It was a whole thing about Khabib eating tiramisu.
But the thing was, he never actually ate it in the film, no?
Yeah, my boy Stamina, he's got the fact. He never actually, you didn't literally, you seen him cutting it and, lifting it to his mouth, and then the camera cut. Yeah. But my motherfucker said it's tradition. You think Khabib's breaking traditions? I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
I think so. He has to. Because like Conor said, if he doesn't make weight or show up for the fight, then he's going to be in trouble with the people that run his career. Those are some dangerous people.
Can I ask you guys this? I want you guys' thoughts on this. What do you think about McGregor? He's no matter what happens on Saturday, I want all the smoke after the fight. Like, this is deeper than the fight. Like, after the fight, I'm ready. What about that?
He's on some Irish mob thing.
Oh,
I don't
my
know.
Lord. Like, gangs
well,
of
the
New
guy that sponsors him is a known war criminal, and of he's a Russian fascist who's a known war criminal, and also the other guy that manages him is Muslim who used to be a terrorist. Was a part of a terrorist Muslim extremist group that was created back in the early '80s.
Are you talking about
That's
Khabib
still
or
around in
McGregor?
South Carolina. And
talking
this
about
guy
Khabib?
who used to be a terrorist ended up
Yeah.
becoming an FBI informant in the early 2000s, but nobody knows if he's still a terrorist or if he's still an FBI informant or if he's both. If he's working for 2 or 3 different people.
Right.
And he's a manager of MMA fighters.
This is not Mission Impossible.
He's talking about Khabib's manager.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about his
Abdelaziz.
managers and the people that run his career. There's some wild
Khabib's
people.
manager. Ali Abdelaziz, like, he's like the John Jones of MMA managers. Like, yeah, he's got a crazy past, right? John Jones, like, outside the octagon, people are like, damn it, John Jones. But inside the octagon, he's the GOAT. Ali Abdelaziz, people are like, outside MMA management, he seems to be like some terrorist snitch who
like
doesn't pay child support. But he's the best manager out there. He's got fucking Sarge
got 50 people.
title fights, Cejudo multiple title fights. Like, as far
He's
as
got 50
MMA
people.
managers, this guy gets the job done.
And then forget
what's
him
funny?
just getting the job done. What he does is that he gets you humongous paydays. If he's your manager, he gets you the biggest paydays somehow, some way.
So connected.
Well, I'm not. I got to do research on that, but I'm not surprised. You know, I've researched a lot of when it comes to Russia, and this isn't an attack on Russia, but it's just the truth of the matter. It's that basically the government and there's a lot of rich oligarchs over there.
Yeah, one of the rich oligarchs also promoted him. Was giving him
one
money.
second, Jensen.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you look at some of the republics out there, Chechnya and Dagestan. A lot of their leaders are like strongmen, and in the same sense, they're businessmen too. So, I mean, I know about a lot of the stuff that comes out that area, you know, and the Caucasus and Dagestan and Chechnya and all that. I didn't know that. I did hear remarks. I did hear Connor talk on that, and that's crazy. Yeah, man, that's something else, man. But I want to say this. I want to, because you know it's kind of getting there in time. But I want to say this one thing about Dana White said something about Conor, and I was just like, really, dude? This dude, you know, Dana White was comparing Conor to Muhammad Ali and stuff like that. I'm like, why do they always do that? It's like, why do they always fucking do that, dude? It's like I'm just starting to. But you know what? I'm not going to let this happen with Conor. I do respect him as a fighter, and what Conor, he turned it down. He was like, nah, man. He was like, he said, quote, I always appreciate the comparison. I'm quick to say I'm not anywhere close to Muhammad Ali, and I respect that.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali's daughter was the one that said that. She's the one that started saying that.
Yeah, it was Dana White.
It was Muhammad Ali's daughter that started saying that.
Hold on,
Muhammad Ali's daughter is another one.
One minute. That Layla never really was truly her father's daughter, because when Ann Wolf was challenger, her ass didn't take that fight. That is sad. Now her dad's gone.
She wanted to take that fight.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
Yes,
no,
she did.
didn't.
You know what,
Brian?
Brian.
No,
she wanted to take that fight.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
Yes, she did. She wanted to take that fight.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
Yes,
Go
she
ahead,
did.
Genesis.
Yes, she did. She wanted to take that fight. She didn't. She couldn't get that fight because of her management. It was her management that was because Layla Ali wanted that fight. Yes, she did.
Wait.
Order on the Mobcast. Order on the Mobcast.
Don't talk over me.
She wanted that fight.
Don't talk over. You gotta let me talk, man. You gotta let me talk. I want Genesis to be able to respond, and and then you guys get your thoughts, but you can't talk over me, man. Genesis, go ahead.
Now, this is something I personally know, because Ann Wolf lives not too far from me. That is a motherfucking lie. The bitch turned the fight down 3 different times. So the bullshit about she wanted that fight, no, she didn't want that fight. Ann Wolf fights like a fucking man. Layla Ali was fucking terrified. So ain't nobody on this motherfucking Mobcast finna sit on here and tell me she wanted that fight. The bitch didn't want no motherfucking smoke.
I don't believe that. She
And
wanted
that's
that
why.
fight.
That's
She
why.
wanted that fight.
Wait, let's just right real quick. That's why she fought a broke down Christy Martin. Christy Martin was one and done by
Listen,
then.
there's a lot of politics that go into that.
Not politics.
Was protecting her. She wanted that fight.
Yeah, but
she was not scared of
she was not scared of Ann Wolf.
She was not scared of Ann Wolf.
Oh,
she could have scared around management.
Okay, well that's
it was her management that kept protecting her. That was
back to what Dana said.
Hold up. So I mean, that's, you know, people can debate that all day, but you know, I'm just gonna say it like this: I'm not surprised that she said that, but my thing is, Dana White, you know, that was some other stuff, man. That was some other stuff. But you know, who was that? Jensen, let me get your final thoughts on this, homie, because I gotta head out of here, dude.
Okay. Yeah. What about the Conor being compared?
I mean, in general.
Ali?
I mean, you can address that. You can address the other stuff too, or you can have it all.
Yeah. I'm not buying into the narrative of Layla Ali ducking Ann Wolf. I know that Ann Wolf would. I know. Let me finish. I know that Ann Wolf would most likely. I know that Ann Wolf would have most likely won the fight, but I'm not buying into none of that shit that Layla Ali was scared or trying to duck the fight. All that's bullshit to me. Regardless of whatever Ann Wolf is going to say, Layla Ali's management was protecting her a lot because of her being the daughter of Muhammad Ali and having that name. And the management and her promoters need to make a shit ton of money off of her. And, you know, happenstance for some reason did not allow that fight happen. And addressing the Conor McGregor being compared to Ali, in terms of him talking shit and hyping himself and transcending the sport, yeah, I could see that. But in terms of other things, I mean, Muhammad Ali did not just beat fighters in the ring. Outside the ring, he beat the United States government when he dodged a draft for religious reasons and for moral reasons, not wanting to fight for a country that was still oppressing black people during Jim Crow at that time. When he was fighting and became a world champion, Jim Crow was still happening. And then it got abolished a year later after he became world champion. And then he was almost in prison, almost lost his career for fighting against the draft and fighting against the United States government. He won that case, and he ended up becoming the heavyweight champion a few years later. Not immediately, but because he lost to Joe Frazier, and then he had to beat George Foreman 3 years later. So in terms of accomplishments outside the ring, nobody can compare to Muhammad Ali in terms of what he achieved outside the ring. But if we're talking about a guy who has marketed himself, promoted himself, and has given so much hope and pride for his own countrymen and for his own people and transcending the sport through him talking shit and marketing himself, then yeah, you can make that comparison because Conor McGregor is the most popular fighter in the world. He is the most well-known and most popular fighter in the world. I mean, you can't go anywhere without somebody knowing about him.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think it's crazy that, you know, the Dana White bald head ass would even put Ali and Conor's coke head ass in the same sentence, man.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, Conor cannot compare to Ali's accomplishments outside the ring. But if we're just talking about what Conor has achieved as a fighter and actually how he's transcended the sport,
Floyd is more well known too. But you made some things that made sense, but there was some other things, but you know, not to totally, you know. But yeah, you know, you made some definitely good points.
Yeah, it's an over the top comparison, you know. But yeah,
may I
that's why I bring you on, Jensen. George, real quick, man. You can address, you know, the whatever before, and then you can address the Ali thing real quick. And then I'm going to go to rugby. Jensen, I got to get everybody's final thoughts. Yeah.
But one thing is, Conor can never, ever, inside, outside, backwards, upside down, be compared to the greatest Ali. Ali changed everything. Ali did not throw a dolly into a side of a bus. He did not, even though he did win out the same listing. That was one thing he did. That thing with St. Liston, that was his thing, because he knew somebody to get out of prison, and he knew that a crazy man, guys are scared of crazy guys in prison. He did that. But Conor could never be compared to him. His Lucky Charms ass got lucky that he didn't go into prison, because I know they would tell his ass to be magically delicious when he got into Rikers. But like I said, but Layla, she never really, no matter how much her management say they didn't, she also agreed with him. She could have said, no, I want to take this fight and prove myself. She could never, ever leave up to her father. Never. You know what? Win, lose, or draw. She fought a broken Christy Martin where she could have fought a real challenge for Ann Wolf. And I believe Ann Wolf that she said she ducked the fade, that she didn't want to take that fight. You know what? And then she decided to retire, undefeated, but never been tested. You know, except for that one knockdown, that one chick knocked her down that in her career. That was it. But like I said, Khabib and Conor, I want to say about that this. I'm kind of split on this. I don't like Conor McGregor, especially he being an asshole that he is. Khabib, he seems like a genuine good dude, but only way he could probably win is if he could submits Conor. Now about Joanna, keep your ass in Rome, eat some lasagna, have some whatever, enjoy yourself while your ass miss out on opportunity for being stupid. And to Sarge, good luck. I know you're not going to beat Valentina, but you will go out as a warrior, a gladiator, a gladiatrix. So that's it for me.
The one and only George Page, folks. Let me pass it to my sister. Rugby.
He's completely wrong, but he made some good points.
I'm completely right. I make some better points.
They passed it my girl.
You're totally wrong about Layla Ali, but go ahead.
They passing my sister Rugby Queen.
Yeah, Joanna and Jacek, I have to be honest. I gotta side with her on this one, because she signed a contract for December, and that was the deal for December. And I don't think she's scared of Valentina. I think she just wanted to have a proper training camp because, this is the girl that beat her 3 times. I mean, I can't blame her for wanting to have a full 8-week training camp. So, and I think when she turned down this fight, I think Joanna, she's still kind of in this mindset where she thinks that she's still the queen. And I guess she probably didn't expect the UFC to completely scrap the card. I guess she just assumed that, well, no, I'm not going to fight. So I guess she just assumed she would get what she wanted, and the fight would still happen in December. But it didn't go down like that. So I personally don't think that was right. I think they still could have kept JJ versus Valentina and had Nate Diaz versus Dustin Poirier as the main event. They've done this before. They've had non-title fights in the pay-per-view as main events. So as of my frustration is at the UFC. I don't know why they're screwing around with the 2:30 main event. You either got one or you don't. But yeah, I have to side with Joanna on this one. I mean, she's a pain in the ass and she's delusional, but on this one, I got to side with her on this one. And as far as, everything else, I don't really have anything else to add. Oh, Sajara needs to, like I said, stay off social media, focus on Valentina, because you got 4 weeks to do this. That's all.
And that's my sister, the lovely Rugby Queen, man. Go subscribe to my sister, man. She makes videos, and Dana White, bald-head ass, always messing something up,
Yep.
The UFC and Dana White to screw up a good thing. And I think you guys, I don't think bald-headed. Yeah, I don't think she's afraid. It's just it's crazy.
I blame the UFC. I think the UFC should get the majority of the backlash, which is what they're getting. I think the UFC wasn't expecting all the backlash that they're getting, which is why they're still working on a main event. And I think the craziest thing that could happen is if Conor McGregor, if he beats Khabib and doesn't take any injuries, he has a quick turnaround, fights in MSG. That would be wild. That would be the craziest shit.
Right.
And then they wouldn't need Sajara Eubanks versus Valentina on that card, and they could keep JJ versus Valentina, the fight everybody wants.
Right.
I think they already fucked it up. I'm just just keep it the way it's.
Yeah.
They might just leave it like that. It's like that old song from
Yeah, they're gonna fuck it up even more, man. You know, I think this is a good fight with Sarge. I think, you know, she had, like, Coach did make
it's like that old song from the Rocky movie. There's no easy way out, no shortcut tone.
Exact, very explosive wins, very highlight, you know, good wins. I think it's, you know, it's what it works out for now. But I want to go to stamina. We got you on again, homie. Love having you on, man. You bring a different perspective. You could, you know, final thoughts. What you want to bring? You can address Ali, whatever you want, man.
No, I have nothing to comment about boxing. That's completely out of my wheelhouse. I'm sorry. Before I even say anything, Brian, where did you actually get the information that they're still working on a main event despite the Shevchenko-Eubanks announcement?
It was, I think it was MMA. Either it was MMA Imports or it was MMA Junkie. But there's rumors circulating that they're still working on a main event.
Conor McGregor at the press conference said that he might, like, if he knocks Khabib out early, he might still headline MSG, but that's all I've heard.
That's not an announcement.
Yeah, that's all I've heard.
No. But this was they said they were still working on. That was before the press conference.
Okay.
I read this like a good few hours before the press conference even started. So that they're still possibly working on a real main event for UFC 230. And now I'm thinking, if Conor does win in a quick knockout, you know, he might have a quick turnaround and fight whoever.
If they were, it just
makes winner Ferguson Pettis. I don't know.
Winner Ferguson Pettis or fight Nate at 165. Who knows?
Let's basically say this is a clusterfuck. That's what.
Yeah, it's a clusterfuck.
Yes, it is.
It's a debacle.
Yes, it is.
This is what happens if they did not follow a good idea, and now things are falling apart. They should have made Nate Diaz versus Dustin Poirier a main event. It didn't have to be for a title. It didn't have to be for an interim title.
Oh, and
just make it a 5-round fight. And then you could still have Valentina and Sajara Eubank. No, Valentina fighting Joanna in December. And they can make the Chris Weidman, Luke Rockhold a 5-round fight. And,
but listen.
There you go.
Look to what you said. Yeah, Dana
Go ahead,
White.
full time.
Dana White.
Go ahead. Yeah.
On top of that, Dana White recently, like today at the press conference, said he's willing to make Nate Diaz versus Poirier 5 rounds. Why not make it the main event? He literally said today, 5 rounds? Okay, I'm down. Like, well, why ruin Valentina versus Joanna? And it's not just that fight. Also, you're canceling 2 fights. Sarge already had a fight booked too with Jessica I, and they were kind of at it. Like, Jessica I called Sarge a cum dumpster. Like, they were at it on social media, and the fight was booked. Valentina versus Joanna was booked. And so that fight, we didn't have to cancel this fight if Dana White was willing to make this a 5-round fight. I mean,
yeah.
I
mean, the same people that were running the UFC as far as matchmaking 2 years ago are just not on their game right now. I just don't understand it. It's just the weirdest shit.
That's kind of funny.
I'll tell you one thing. Jessica, I need to sit her ass down. I don't care.
I agree.
Yeah, and this is another thing.
Jessica, I need to sit her ass down.
This is another thing that's annoying me.
Yeah.
This is another thing. I don't like it that these female fighters are tearing down an opportunity to make a women's division progress. Like the fight between Valentina and Joanna. Joanna is the #1 contender at strawweight still. Valentina is the #1 contender at flyweight. So you have 2 #1s in their respective divisions fighting for a world title. That is huge for women's MMA. That is huge for women in MMA in general. That is progress. So the fact that you had all these female fighters just shitting on that fight and tearing it down was really just so annoying and so just closed-minded.
And it goes back.
You got Megan Anderson, who's a featherweight. Like, why are you talking about women that are 20 pounds lower than you?
It goes back to my
crazy.
30.
It goes back to my main point.
30 pounds lower than her. Yeah, and it's like she's talking about women at flyweight, and I'm like, you're at featherweight, and you got dominated by a bantamweight whose wrestling is trash. She was taken down by probably the worst grappler in women's MMA in Holly Holm. So she has no business and no right to talk any shit.
And that goes one second. And that goes to my primary point in Genesis. I want to get your final thoughts. That goes to my primary point is that yes, I do recognize that the UFC messed up, but they gave Valentina and Joanna the same options, and this is a title fight. we can't look over that point. This is a title fight, and it's just Joanna going off on these the 2 losses with Rose nonimmunity. I just don't think like where is your level to. I understand you being upset, but I mean, like Coach, it's just tell that to all these other fighters, man. But Genesis, I want to get your final thoughts, sis, and I think that we're good. But Genesis, if you're still there. Hello. Hey,
Genesis. I bet she ducked out.
Yeah, I hear y'all.
Oh, okay.
Everybody shut up.
Let me get your final thoughts.
Hey, however the Conor and Khabib fight go, hey, good for them. Fuck them. whether he win or lose, it's not gonna make or break me. Like, my main focus is the women's division within boxing and MMA. I feel like it's not enough like light being shined on the female athletes. So and I side with Joanna on this. Like, you're not finna shorten my fighting camp for one of the best athletes ever. Just because. Nah, fuck that. She whooped my ass 3 times. I need a proper fucking count. It's just that simple.
I agree.
And Joanna's on a 2-fight losing streak, so she got to make a good career move.
Yeah,
she just won against Tisha Torres. So
if she lost,
okay, good call. I forgot about that. But
if she lost to some of these other people,
forgot about it because it didn't matter.
That makes it worse for Joanna.
Tisha should be an atom weight. Her or Michelle Watterson, even Ronda Marcos they need to go ahead and start working on the atom weight division for these women, because you got Michelle fighting Felice in about next month, and I think Felice gonna piece up Watterson.
But Felice is strong. Felice gonna beat the shit out of her. Like, she is going to get her ass whipped.
Waterhead should have been fighting Esparza, and Felice should have been fighting Tatiana.
Yeah, for real, that would have made more sense.
Yeah, I think I hope Michelle Watterson wins, but if she's on her A game, she's gonna win. Michelle Watterson is too small for strawweight. They need to make the atomweight division as soon as possible, and they might make it next year.
Michelle Watterson, she's not even. When I watch her fight, she be trying to do that karate shit. Bitch, you need to ball up your fist and you need to fight. This is not crouching tiger, hidden dragon. You need to be striking and grappling. Fuck that karate shit. That doesn't work in the ring.
She tried to pull that Paige Van Zandt Danielson bullshit she did against Beck Rollins. That's what she's trying to do.
Oh, Paige Van Zandt, I didn't know. She's like those like toys like with the joints they move all weird.
Kung Fu grip.
It's like all these digits and stuff. I don't know, man.
In Africa, you ain't worth a damn.
Oh God, Jim, man. You shit in you, man. He's talking about these women.
She moved like it's real unorthodox.
Watterson is part of that Jackson Wink curse.
Oh yeah.
She moved like a Barbie doll. You know how they joints is like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
she is a Barbie doll. She got her extra plastic now.
You know what? All these bitches that keep praising in the UFC and trying to make it seem like they are so fine. They are not fine in real life. They are not.
They're not.
They are not fine. They're not beautiful. They do not have no nice ass bodies. But hey, if you men keep glorifying these bitches that shape like number 2 pencils, that's fine with me.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm like
Kayla Harrison 2020. Let's go!
No.
Cut his mic. Cut him off. Cut him off.
2020.
Cut his mic.
Harrison looks fucking huge. Harrison cannot make featherweight. She could come in at 155. Sure, she can make 155.
Full time. You gotta send. George, did you tag? You got to send full time the video of Kayla where she's doing like the I
said that in the judo. She's
she's slamming the poor guy on that hard floor. It's like one of those it's like a little covering that they had to shoot.
Y'all remember say whatever y'all want. Kayla is strong like a fucking man.
Thank
Oh my
you.
God, you gotta.
Thank you.
I know some bodybuilders that compared to her physique.
Well, hey, I can't listen.
You said
I'm
Kayla's like a man. She's built like a man.
No,
I
I
can't-
said
strong
When we
like
talk
a
about
man.
we talk about
Look.
cyborg like that, don't we? Don't some people talk about cyborg like that?
No, this is what I said while y'all switching up my words. I said she's strong like a fucking man.
She's
Oh,
strong like
okay.
bull.
Yeah, I can repeat
She's
what
strong
I
like
said.
bull.
Ain't nobody gonna do
okay.
me nothing.
Gotcha.
The thing is like this with her. She's not. I'm sorry, full time. She doesn't have a chance against cyborg.
Not tomorrow, but in 2020.
No. Not 2020.
2020.
2025.
2025.
I'm telling you right now,
Maybe.
you're biased right now, George.
Not
Page,
biased.
and I understand
I'm
that.
being balanced, like Coach taught me to.
No, you're not. No, you're not, man.
He's gonna look like
this is how I know none of y'all are biased when it comes to
she's
Kayla
gonna look
Harris.
like Rasheem Rockman.
Look, I'm gonna tell you like this, because I'm gonna tell you why. Listen, George, I hear what you're saying. I'm gonna tell you right now why none of y'all are biased when it comes to Kayla Harris.
Wait, you can't say none of us is biased.
I am willing to.
We're not biased.
Listen, I'm willing to tell you, Kayla Harrison might get bodied today or in 2020. She might get bodied. I'm willing to tell you Cyborg is the best female fighter on the planet. There's no female on the world you can get in a ring or octagon with Cyborg that can beat her. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
But in 2020,
Hey, full time.
That's
Give me everybody. Hey, full time. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
And I swear to God, I've never tried cocaine in my motherfucking life. I might be on some proper 12, but I ain't never tried no cocaine. Oh God, no cocaine ever went in my nose. None of that.
Cold-blooded.
I'm with my dad, but me, I'm sober on that shit. But what I'm saying, is Kayla Harrison in 2020 is unlike any female fighter we've seen on the planet.
You know what,
Rousey get a dick. Sorry, hold on 1 second, Genesis. I love you, Genesis. 1 second. Kayla Harrison is nothing like Ronda Rousey, but if she was, it's the good side. Ronda was able to be a fucking bronze medalist, and she still was the champion. Hold on. Kayla's a two-time gold medalist. And by the way,
in the Olympics, by the way.
Hold on, Brian.
In the Olympics.
After she won her first fight, they said, "Oh, Brittany Elkins 3 and 4. Fuck Brittany Elkins. That hoe ain't got nothing." And then what? Joe, Zet, Cotton, 8 and 2. Kayla came out there throwing head kicks, leg kicks.
But let's put a ring with like somebody.
I'm just saying.
Like
That's all.
Bam Stories.
Yeah, Kayla Harrison.
She wasn't able.
If Kayla Harrison
Hold up, Jensen. She wasn't able to submit her, and you know what? It's
Or
just
knock her out.
She wasn't able to throw elbows either, man. PFL's wrong for that.
I've been saying that Kayla's good, but you know, it's crazy.
Thank you, General. Thank you, General Africa, for reminding me. I didn't get to explain why none of y'all are biased, because this is the thing. If Kayla Harrison is able to beat every female on the planet except for Chris Cyborg, that is still a motherfucking monster. If she can beat everybody else except Cyborg, at least she's number 2. That ain't no hype job.
Or number one. Kayla Harrison could be number 1 at 55 and 45 and not Cyborg. She could be in the Hall of Fame.
That's what I'm saying, though. She in a hype job. If she can't beat Cyborg, Cyborg's the GOAT. That's like saying nobody that beats John Jones is legit. That's like saying Cormier ain't shit because he didn't beat John Jones. No, he's still a beast. He just couldn't.
Full time.
Okay.
I know you don't want to think about this, but what if Kayla Harrison loses her next fight?
This is not possible.
What the fuck?
What if
she could? Oh my God!
It's not
possible.
Hell no.
At the end of the day.
What if Cyborg loses her next fight?
Listen,
Cyborg lost the fight in 10 years, man. What the fuck?
Hold up, guys. At the end of the day, and gals, at the end of the day, man, you know, if you're talking about fighting Chris Cyborg in 6 fights, you need to shut up. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hear that. And she also has to fight.
Gold medal in judo twice.
But hold up.
Wait, everybody shut the fuck up.
Yeah, hold up. And this is the thing. Lomachenko had over 400 wins in amateurs and gold medals, and he lost to a literal Uber driver. So the thing is, I'm not saying that.
Nah, but Salido was a beast.
Good.
Salido was a beast.
No, he was old and over the hill, though.
No, he was a beast. He wasn't over the hill at that time.
No, bro.
Salido was a
man
beast.
telling that Leon Ali
he was
Yeah, for real, George Page.
He was an Uber driver, but
he was not an Uber driver. He was
judo,
a journeyman, but he was a beast.
Judo is different. Like I said, I've never said that she's not good, but she's using her name, and she also has to fight at 145. I got to see that first, man. And I'm not talking about
she's not making 145.
Other guys. I want to see these guys. They don't talk about Kayla Harrison's square jaw and her arms and her struck. They always want to talk about Andrade. They always want to talk about the Brazilians. But they don't talk about these other people. They always want to make assumptions on the Andrades and Cyborg. Granted, Cyborg did test positive years ago. Yeah. But they always want to jump. They never jump on the
Fleece Harry.
The Fleece Harry, the Tisha Torres.
They don't jump on the white bitch.
The Tisha Torres.
Let them know, Genesis.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it because
Kayla Harrison is built.
They don't check the white bitches. Okay?
I'll even give you this one. I don't agree with Kayla Harrison calling out Cyborg at all. Like, she's doing it a little too much. I agree with when you first come out, hey, my end game is to be the best. In the end, I need to be Cyborg. But every interview to be saying Cyborg, I don't agree with that. I think you're clout chasing a little, building your name off of Cyborg. But that don't change the fact in 2020 she might be beating Cyborg. That don't change that. Go ahead.
But
yeah, no one said good by 2020.
No one said about people like
155.
I'm gonna let Genesis go and then real quick and then Jensen real quick because I'm gonna get off of here soon. And then I'm gonna let George go and Rugby, if you want to go one more time, that's cool. But it has to be real quick, guys. Go ahead.
Don't nobody interrupt me while I'm talking either.
Yeah, come on, man. You guys got to stop that. And when I'm talking, don't interrupt me.
Me off.
Go ahead, Genesis.
Anywho, like I was fucking saying before.
Whatever.
Shut your motherfucking ass up.
Okay.
But anyways, before
go ahead, Genesis.
But anyways, seriously though. But before she even gets
but real quick. All right, my bad.
God damn it! What the fuck did I just say? Now guess what? I beat men up too. God damn it! Shut up. Not before this white girl with this hype job. Before she even gets to Cyborg, think about all the other good featherweights. It's a lot of good ones out there. They're scattered out everywhere, but they are good. They are good. So before everybody counting her motherfucking chickens, before they even hatch, they need to let this bitch grow into something first. Because winning 2 fights doesn't signify that you're going to be any motherfucking thing in a year or two. Because what if she lose her next 4 or 5 fights? Y'all hyping this bitch up like she just went in there with a one-hit quitter. It's not like that. Judo, let me tell you something. If you never fought in the ring, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. How about
that?
If you never fought in the ring or any of that, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Judo doesn't cross over from you actually fighting in a ring with somebody with some good takedown defense. So I like how y'all hyping Barbie up, but Barbie finna beat her match soon enough. That's all I'm gonna say. She good, but y'all hyping her up a little bit too fast.
I'm not hyping her.
Yeah, and
I didn't say you was. I wasn't talking to you.
And this to come get this work Mobcast. So you know what I'm saying? We come with the flame, man. You know what I'm saying? We come with this no hard feeling. We come with the flame. I'm going to let Full-Time respond real quick, though, bro. And then Jensen and George, and if Webby Queen want to go, and then this is going to be the real last thoughts on it. So go ahead.
I completely agree. She ain't ready for Cyborg right now. But I'll say this. Look at Tatiana Suarez. What is she, 8-0? What is she, a motherfucking monster? What are we talking about? Tatiana Suarez fighting for the title soon, right? Because she's so fucking good at wrestling. And hold on, by the way, people seem to forget how everybody was talking after Kayla Harrison's first fight about Brittany Elkins' record. People forget to say, oh, she was 3-4. Before the Josette fight, they thought Josette said, oh, man, she ain't never felt no punches. She can't roll with the punches. What the fuck about Kayla Harrison's head movement? What the fuck about Kayla Harrison's head kicks? What the fuck about AT&T? She ain't with fucking Tavarian Edmond. Head movement. She's not with him. She trained a full year before she fought her first fight. A full year with the American top team. I'm sorry. It's not hype. Everybody else, Mackenzie Dern, all these pretty bitches, hype. Kayla Harrison is not the case. And oh, by the way, what happened to not liking these pencil bitches? Kayla Harrison is big. Thank you. I'm done.
Head movement.
Girl,
jab.
Kayla's bit like a wall.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Jensen. And that's my boy full time. Go ahead, Jensen. Real quick.
Jab.
I want to fight you. I want to punch you in your face.
Stop, Genesis.
I'm joking.
I
love Genesis.
And I think I don't know.
Priceless.
Actually, you guys called me crazy for thinking Mackenzie Dern had more upside if she would get her act together, stop taking pictures. Everybody called me crazy, but I don't know. Go ahead, Jensen. Jensen, go ahead. You want to say? Oh, okay. Go ahead, George.
About time he shut the fuck up.
Stop.
I think Jensen thought you were saying
George,
Genesis.
All right, chill out. I'm on deck. But like I said, the whole steroid thing, and like Jesus White, it's always about the white bitches. No one said nothing about Sarah McMahon. No one said nothing about Julia Budd. No one said nothing about Felice Herring. No one said nothing about who else?
Yes,
I ain't ever one time said Cyborg was on steroids. By the way, I am not
Jessica
one of those people.
Let's talk about Jessica Pine.
I mean, George.
Is that the women have a harder time.
You guys drove Rugby Queen off. You guys, I don't know.
George,
but
what white privilege does exist in MMA, but sadly,
we know that. We know that.
A lot, yeah. I said,
tell that to Sarge Eubanks. I'm sorry, I gotta get off of here.
But see, that's the thing about white privilege. White privilege is also against if you're homosexual.
Do not have that type of privilege. Sadly, a lot of white women.
But look at Tanya Evinger.
That's what I've been saying. That's
hold on. Don't talk about
guys.
Yeah, a lot of white women that are not good looking get the chef, like Tanya Effinger.
Yeah. Wait, don't talk about Tanya.
I'm sorry, I'm being honest. I'm just being honest, and let me say this. Tanya Effinger, the only way she could get into the UFC was to fight Chris Cyborg. And she even said to Ariel Helwani, I don't know who the UFC hates more, me or Chris Cyborg. So
but Yana, they took her in, and Yana, they took Yana in. She fought Chris Cyborg, but she didn't have to, but she chose to fight Cyborg. Yana.
Yeah, she didn't have to fight.
Okay.
Yeah,
I gotta let Stamina go, and then we're jumping off here.
Okay.
I mean,
hey, Stamina, what's your just whatever.
I mean, man, I'm just fixated on this whole Joanna thing just because I seem to be the only one who has the opinion that I have. I'm just I don't like JJ, but I respect what she brings to the table, and inside the octagon, just as a fighter, yeah, cool, salute, good stuff. But I just want people to consider that in order to accept that fight in December as it was, we don't know what ducks she had to get in a row in order to make that work. That setup in December might not have been okay for her. That might have been a head fuck, but she agreed to it, which meant that by the time the November one came along, that pushed things over the line. People are just focusing solely on the time thing and not really considering the larger aspects of what actually goes into this. It might well have been a thing whereby the people, the people that she works with at American Top Team, maybe they're not available to get her ready for November. Maybe it's a thing where because those people aren't available, the kind of people that are available to get her ready for November, you can't get family rates to pay those kind of people because they're not your crew. So you've got to spend 2, 3, 4 times the amount of money on a trade just so as to get there. There's so many different things involved, but everyone just wants to fixate on, oh, well, you offered to fight a fight in 2 days and you can't turn up for one. And it's not that simple. And as long as people focus only on that, they're not really trying to think about it properly. They just want to find fault with something. There's a bunch of stuff that we will never, ever know. But if you're going to be as factual about it as you possibly can about it, it's not that simple. Like JJ's attitude is this. Eventually, she's going to go up to flyweight. Remember, everyone said to her, as soon as she lost to Rose the first time, oh yeah, you're going to go up to fly. You're going to go up to fly. She didn't want to hear it. She wanted to stay at straw and she wanted to get her belt back. So her attitude is this: when she goes to flyweight, there's one of two things that's going to happen. Either there's going to be a champion that she can definitely beat, or it's going to be Valentina. Win-win.
Exactly.
And that's and that's my boy Stamina MC, man. I love having you on. We gotta get you on here more. We this to come to this work Mobcast. So we.
By the way, where's the coach?
I think Coach dropped off.
Ages ago.
General, you said what video? Who you want me to send that video to? That sent to your guys? You want me to show that video?
The Kayla Harris when she was slamming the guy on the ground. But I love bringing you guys on. We get different perspectives, man, and it gets heated. But hey, man, it's to come get this work, and we pushed through the technical difficulties. You came through. You know what I'm saying? And this was a great stream, man. It really was. And Coach got it started, and he had to head out, but we finished it off strong, and it was great. So
it was great. This has been a great conversation.
I wish I could go. I wish I could go on longer, but it is.
I mean,
it's been a great.
What full time is?
I was just gonna say, just let you guys know. If y'all ain't got shit to do, I ain't doing shit. I'll go live. I mean, fuck it. We can just
come. Go on. Set it up. Let's do it.
If you got,
what are we doing?
We can do a panel on my channel. I mean, General's got to go, but I ain't got shit to do. So if y'all want to keep it going, we can keep it going.
I'll come through in the chat and go to full time and to go subscribe to this channel. Jensen, I said, Jensen makes video. Genesis. And go subscribe to their channels and
I like talking to full time. He crazy.
Yeah, that's my homie.
I like but he's also so much. You don't even know, Genesis. I'm a big fan of you. So I mean, we don't agree all the time, but I'll be listening for you. So we can go live. So I agree. And thank you, General Africa, for hosting this. Come get this work, Mobcast. It's been a fucking great conversation, man.
Man, I appreciate it. Hey, look, you guys empower me because if it wasn't for you guys, like coming through and riding through the slight technical difficulties and stuff, you come through it, and that's my reason to keep on doing this, man. So it's greatly appreciated to everybody
like this general. We ride together, we die together.
And to everybody checking the archives, man.
This is a great conversation. It's a great Mobcast, and it's great talking to you guys. And Full Time MMA. He makes great arguments, but he's also really funny too, and that's a great thing. Really
I like Full Time. I like arguing with him.
Well, let's go, because
hey, head over to the Full Time's channel right now. Yeah, this your boy General Africa, man.
Yeah, Full Time. You got my email, right? So you can send me a link.
I should. I should. If not, just put it in the chat, and I'll.
Yeah, that's what I do too. I said because I know you got mine tonight. Like, let's go 1-on-1, man to man, via.
Let's go, Jordan Page movie quiz. Let's go.
Okay.
So head over to Full Time's channel. Go subscribe to Coach Sheldon Harrison's channel, and we out. Peace.
All right,
okay.
Good night.
See you for part 2.